Hi everyone. Today I'd like to talk about working and staying in Russia legally. I would like to try and explain you the different types of visas that are in Russia and what you can do or what you cannot do on this type of visas. The idea is to provide as much information as possible in order for you to understand whether you are legal in Russia or not. And maybe by having this information in the future, you would be able to make a proper decision on whether to apply for certain types of visa or not to apply for those type of visa. Historically, unfortunately, Filipino nationals have been among those foreign nationals that have most of the issues with their immigration documents, and we're evidencing it right now because a lot of Filipino nationals have expired visas, expired a long time ago, not during the pandemic. And we would like to provide as much information as possible so that you know, how in future try not to breach Russian immigration legislation, because for you working in Russia illegally creates many problems for you because of the potential risk of deportation, not being able to travel abroad with your employers, families. For Filipino embassy, that also needs to deal with the cases when there are issues with the Filipino community. For the families who also suffer from the fact that they cannot be 100% sure that next day something happens with their Filipino nanny. So I will try in this video to explain you what means to be legal in Russia. Well, first of all, you need to understand that in Russia, according to Russian immigration system, foreign nationals from visa countries, and Philippines are a visa country for Russia, they cannot work in Russia without an employer. So CIS nationals, citizens of Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Ukraine, and other countries that don't need visa to work in Russia, they can come to Russia on their own. They can apply for patent. It's a work permit for them, and obtain this work permit on their own, and then seek and find an employer, and then sign a labor agreement with the employer, and then they are legal. For foreign nationals from visa countries, and Philippines is among those, you cannot come and work without an employer. So it's the employer that has to do all the immigration paperwork for you. You cannot do it on your own. Yeah. So when somebody asks me, okay, how much is the work visa? It's a not the proper question to ask. Yeah, because you cannot buy a work visa. And I will explain you why you cannot buy a work visa. Yeah, because it has to be the real work visa is sponsored by your employer. Yeah, with all the required things that go with it, which is payment of salary, taxes, etc. But okay, let's start from the beginning. So the types of visas that Filipino nationals and we see are using is like we saw tourist visas. Well, the problem with the tourist visas, apart from that, you cannot work on a tourist visa, legal and official. Yeah, tourist visas as are well short term, they expire, and once the visa expire, you either need to exit Russia, get another visa, or you become legal. Yeah, and again, first of all, you cannot work on a tourist visa. Then commercial visa. Commercial visa is same. Yeah, even if you get a 1 year commercial visa, it doesn't allow you to work. It's illegal. But also the commercial visa, even 1 year visa, has a limitation of stay in Russia 90 days within 6 months, which means that you get your visa, you enter Russia, you stay for 3 months, and by the law, next 3 months you have to be outside of Russia. You cannot stay on a commercial visa more than 3 months within 6 months. Then a highly qualified specialist 3-year work visa. Yeah, it's quite frequent that somebody would propose you to get you such kind of visa. So what's the trick there? You pay some money, you get a 3-year work visa, but what happens next? This visa, working visa, if you look in the visa, it's written there who is the employer. So by the law, in order to get this 3-year work visa, employer provides documents and confirmation to the immigration authorities that such employer would be paying you a certain amount of salary a month. And the salary is 167,000 rubles a month the employer has to pay you. So what some of the, I would say, unreliable agents, or those that sell you such visas, what they do is the following. They process you the work permit, then they process you the visa, and then next day as you get the visa, they terminate your work permit. Why they do it? Because otherwise they will be liable for not paying you the salary. Because obviously nobody pays you the salary, not this agent, not this company that is mentioned in your visa. They don't pay you the salary. Yeah. But by the current law, when they terminate your work permit, then they are okay with the law. Yeah, tax authorities cannot come to them, immigration authorities cannot come to them and say, listen, what's going on? You have a foreign national being employed, why you don't pay him a salary? And they will say, I terminated this foreign national. Yeah, and by the law, current law, the one that is right now working, they cannot terminate your visa because you have 2 months to find a different employer. So you are left with a 3-year working visa, and this visa even allows you to travel in and out of country, and it seems that everything is okay. Yeah, you have a 3-year working visa. Well, the problem is the following. In the immigration database, there is a file on every foreign national, yeah? And on top of this file, in case that you have a 3-year working visa, which is bought one, yeah? On top of this file, above your name, it will be written signal. And there it will say that the work permit has been terminated. And for immigration authorities, that is a signal that something is wrong here. And when they look further in the documents, they would understand it. Say you have a working visa which was issued 1 year ago, yeah? And immigration authorities would understand, okay, 1 year ago, the work permit was issued and the visa was issued. Next day, the work permit was terminated. You have 2 months to exit Russia, to find a new employer or to exit Russia. And they say and they see that you didn't exit after 2 months. You are still in Russia on the basis of the same work visa, and your employer has terminated you. That potentially may be a problem, even that now you maybe didn't have any issues, you were traveling in and out of Russia, and it seems that everything is okay. It's not okay. Yeah? By the law, these visas after 3 years you cannot extend, yeah, because it's obvious and it's written in the database that your work permit was terminated. You should have left long ago. So we also believe that such visas that are being bought, yeah, they are illegal. Yeah, if your family, your real employer, will sponsor such visas, say a family that you work with has a company, yeah, and then you work officially in that company, and they sponsor the work permit and they sponsor the visa, and they pay you 167,000 rubles, then it's a different story. Yeah, then you are legal. Yeah, you are much more legal than when you would buy such a visa. So what are the this is we discussed the illegal ways to stay in Russia. So what are the legal ways to stay in Russia? Unfortunately, there are not that many. You may probably heard that as of November 2019, there were some changes in the Russian laws, and from November 2019, Russian families, individuals where you work, they can become officially employers. So not only companies, but also individuals, they became able to become employers for you. It's good news, but the problem with that is that the process to get you a work visa, which is sponsored by your particular family, is very hard. Yeah, this process may take, I don't know, 6 months, and it would require that your family would go to the labor department, apply for the quota, explain why they need specifically you, a Filipino national, and they will need to reject all the Russians unemployed that they would be offered to employ. They would need to go again through the labor department to get the employment permit, yeah, in order to be able to employ you. Then you would need to get a work permit. Then you would need to get an invitation letter for a 3-month work visa. Then you would need to exit, get a Russian visa in the Russian consulate, come back, and they will need to change and extend your 3-month visa to a 1-year work visa. This is the most legal way that there is, but it is so hard to do it that I think not many people are actually doing it. We think that government should, of course, make it simpler, but this is unfortunately the way that the system right now works. There is another potential possibility to work in Russia legally. Maybe you heard about teacher visas. What is good about teacher visas is that it's also issued by a company with educational license, yeah, that has the possibility to provide services, say teaching English. Basically, part of your job of being, for those of you that are nannies, is working in the families, and part of your job is teaching English with the kids. That's one of the reasons why Russian families would like Filipino nationals to be nannies with their kids, because kids would eventually learn English. So one of the possibilities for you to legally work in Russia is to obtain teacher visa. I know that some of you have or had such type of visas, but the key thing here, the very important thing, is that if you again just get this visa and then you don't get the salary being paid from this company that is mentioned in your visa as an employer, then this visa also becomes illegal. Yeah, because you cannot work in Russia if you don't get legally paid. Yeah? And legally paid means if you, for example, get a teacher visa, then your salary has to be paid to you by this company that employed you as a teacher. And that's very important. I know it sounds strange, and I know it sounds very difficult, but that's the legal way to do it. And so when some of you ask me, okay, we get an amnesty, we exit Russia, but how do we come back? How much is the work visa? I cannot answer you with the question, how much is a work visa? For one reason, we don't sell work visas. We don't sell any visas, yeah, because we want you to be legal. And because even a teacher visa, yeah, which is, I would say, one of the most and closest to being legal, provided that you get the salary, depends on your employer. We have to speak. I mean, we potentially can help you get the teacher visa, but we need to speak with your Russian employer in order to explain to them how it has to be done legally, and in order to make a proper decision how and who is going to pay the additional burden of taxes. Yeah, because when we will be paying you the salary, or any company that will be employing you as a teacher or doing other type of legal work visas and work permits, if you want to be legal, the company has to pay you the salary and pay the taxes. And I believe that this decision has to be taken not only by you, but it has to be taken by your employer. And if you want to potentially explore how to get a teacher visa, and the teacher visa, the good thing about it is that it can be extended every year without exiting Russia, provided that the salary is paid, taxes are paid, everything is okay. It can be extended every year. It will allow you to actually apply, if needed, for Schengen visas or visas to any other countries. And plus, you would be able to apply for residency. If you work legally for 6 months in Russia as a teacher, you can apply for a residence permit in Russia. Not even a temporary residency, but a residence permit in Russia. If you work for 1 year legally in Russia, you can apply for Russian citizenship. So if you are somehow interested in being legal, pay taxes, and not bother about being illegal in Russia or having troubles, you need to speak to your employer, yes, and say this is the legal way, yeah, because your employees are also not immigration experts, yeah, they don't know how to do it legally. So we're here to explain how to do it legally. One other thing about, we've seen that some of the Filipino nationals are coming to us and saying, listen, we heard about quota for temporary residency permit, that we can apply for the quota for a temporary residency permit and get this quota. Like, what do we do? Should we do it or not? Well, that's what I want to say about the quota for temporary residency permit. Every year, if we speak about Moscow, there is only 2,000 quota spots for Moscow. 2,000. 2,000 means 250 a month. Possibility to apply for the quota opens up every month. So, for example, in March, you could apply for the quota on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 9th of March. You would need to go to Sakharova Immigration Center, provide documents, and apply for the quota. So the interesting thing is the following. It's not a lottery. Believe me, it's not a lottery. Yeah? Because if they give 250 or 200 quotas in 1 month, and the number of people that want to apply for this quota is thousands every month, yeah, it's not a lottery. I believe that it's 99.9% that you will not get a quota. Because the mechanism on how the quota is being issued is not transparent. Yeah, there is not a point-based system. Yeah, they are only thinking about introducing a point-based system. For example, you know Russian language, you studied in Russia, you are working in Russia officially, you have property, a flat in Russia, and those points would give you the right, more chances to apply for quota. So the system doesn't work. So the way the system works, they gather several thousands of applications every month from people from all over the world, yeah, mainly of course CIS nationals, and then they make their decision. How they make their decision, we don't know, but I will give you an example. We had an Italian client, person from Italy. He has an apartment in the center of Moscow. He owns it. He's a general director of a big company. He's a highly qualified specialist. He officially works in Russia for 10 years. Pays taxes, everything. He speaks perfect Russian. His Russian is, I don't know, like my Russian. Yeah. He went to Sakharova Immigration Center 17 times. 17 months he went and provided the application for quota. He got 17 denials. He didn't get his quota for temporary residency permit, with all the potential grounds that he may have, because all of those grounds, they are just still nothing, but still it's a lot. You know Russian very well, you have an apartment in Russia, you work legally in Russia as a general director, and he was not given the quota. I don't know how they give the quota, but it's not a lottery for sure, because otherwise he would get a quota. I do have my thoughts how it's done, but that's not for the video. So my opinion is that there are very, very small chances that you will get a quote. So my advice, don't try. You will just waste your time and money. Again, with regards to this video, we would like to provide as much information as possible for you to know what is being legal in Russia. Yeah? And for you to act accordingly. Thank you. I hope it was useful. Would be happy to assist you in any possible way. Thank you. Bye bye.